Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to Afternoona Delight, where Leah, Megan, and Amy, romance novelists, and your K-romance guides. So grab some dekboki and listen to your new favorite unnies.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Afternoona Delight. This is Leah Riley.
What? Hello, it's Megan.
Hey there, coming to you from the suburbs of Chicago, it's Amy.
Yeah, I didn't introduce my surroundings, so if you're watching on YouTube, and if I sound maybe slightly different, it's because I'm not at home. I'm actually at the beach, so I'm at Outer Banks, with my family, but we're not on the beach now. It's like 9 o'clock at night, and I hopped on my computer I'm like squeezed between the wall and the bed of like our bedroom in here. So, yeah, forgive my new surroundings and my like frizzy beach hair, but I'm here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where are the Outer Banks? Because I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't
So the
either.
the Outer Banks are in North Carolina. So,
You drove to North Carolina?
yeah, it's like a 7-hour drive.
Wow.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I know nothing about the East Coast and
Wait,
how to get places.
You can drive from Pennsylvania to North Carolina in 7 hours?
Yeah, and North Carolina, I mean, to get to the Outer Banks, which is a whole thing, because the Outer Banks are kind of hard to get to because the whole point is that it's an outer bank. It's almost like, I don't know what it's actually called. Like it's like a little strip of land with like the sound on one side or the bay. I think it's a sound. I don't know. We looked up the difference today, and the ocean on the other. So it's like this like thin strip of land. Like we drove today like farther south to the Outer Banks. And the actual like land gets so thin at some points. It's like
so
a
it's
road
like
of-
it's connected to North Carolina.
yeah, it's
but
like connected to the
it's like a little peninsula in the middle of
like
two
off
bu-
the coast
Yeah.
of North Carolina.
Yeah.
I just
So
can't
yeah,
get over
it takes
how
us
compact it all is. Like, you're so compact.
what on the East Coast.
Yes, it blows my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
And this is a really popular like even people from Pennsylvania, they come to Outer Banks all the time. It's a really popular place to come, even though we have obviously a lot of beaches. We have beaches in Maryland, we have beaches in New Jersey and Delaware, but the Outer Banks is still just a really popular place to come. And so we even came farther south this time. So we're in a town called Rodanthe, which is like this is like the epitome of a beach town. Like every restaurant here fits like 3 tables. Like there's no grocery store. There's like little markets. It's really, really small. We've never stayed this far south because the main hub, I guess, of Outer Banks is kind of like Nags Head, Kill Devil Hills, Kitty Hawk. And that's actually very built up now. Like,
Kitty Hawk, like the Wright brothers and the airplane.
yeah, so there's the Wright Brothers Museum up there, which I've been to a few times. And yeah, it's all right there where the first flight. So yeah, I mean, I like the Outer Banks a lot. It's been really nice down here. The weather's been nice, and it's just like, yeah. So I don't know if
so long. So it's just like 7 hours. I'm like still in California, like any direction.
right.
essentially.
right. I know that. Yeah, I mean, 7 hours. I go through what 3 states? I don't know. Go through a lot of states. I go through Pennsylvania, Maryland, DC, because you have to drive through DC to get to Virginia. Then you're in North Carolina, basically. So, yeah, it's been, I don't know if you saw on the news, like in the last like year, there've been like houses that the sea is like reclaiming, like they're houses that are too far on the beach. We're like right there. So if you look right out my house, the house we're staying in, there's a house on the beach that's been condemned. It's like literally right beside us. So it's like, obviously there's no way to access it. They took the stairs off and everything. I think they're just like waiting for it to fall into the sea, basically. And then they come and clean it. But it's like, yeah, it's a mess. So
I wonder
yeah,
what
it is,
it's
'cause the
like.
sea
I wonder
is-
what homeowners insurance is like there.
yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. Neil and I were kind of like thinking that it probably has to fall first for them to like be able to make a claim. They can't just like destruct it or, take it down themselves. But anyway, but yeah, that's like right out our window So we're a little bit far back, but I would say like the driveway we have here and like the whole underside of the house has been completely reclaimed by sand. Like you can't really access much of like the lower level that's like on stilts. So yeah,
Do you
anyway,
have
so that's
wild
where I am.
horses there too? Are there, like,
Yes.
horses
So
that run around?
yeah, yeah. Normally, they're out more in, like, the fall. Like, if you come down the Outer Banks in, like, September, October, you do see a lot of horses on the beach, but I would say, like, in the dead of summer, that's you're not really, like, seeing them as
So
much.
it's like a roving group of horses that are just, like, out?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then they have, like, Chincoteague Island, which they do the pony swim every year, which I was, like,
What
obsessed with when I was a kid.
what's a pony swim?
Yeah, well, I don't actually okay, so I don't know I don't remember the facts of the pony swim. It's been a very long time.
Do ponies go in the water and swim?
Yeah. They, like I think they herd them onto the mainland so that they aren't separated, that's what I think, and I think they do round up some of the ponies at that point, um, so that I think to, like, control the herd, but, yeah, they have a pony swim every year, it's like Chincoteague to Assateague, and they bring the
They
ponies
guide the wild ponies to Chincoteague Island.
okay, they
It's a
take them out to the
it's a
island.
3-minute swim that prevents herd overpopulation. Well, what do you do? What are they doing
What?
out there for
What?
that?
Well, they don't die. I think they take some of them then, like, they, like and, like
I was wondering if they were, like, messing with their reproductive organs.
no, I don't think so. I don't think so, but I don't know. It's been a long time. But yeah, so that's all down here too.
And so again,
So
for folks listening, like, overseas at all, I think that, like, it is really helpful sometimes to because sometimes I think we get talked about like a such a monolith, like the United States is talked about as such a monolith, and again, we are a very big country, and it is pretty common to just have no idea what is happening in many parts of the country because we are not only are we geographically big, because there's other big geographic countries, but then we're also highly populated, and so, again, not the most populated, but we are quite populated and quite big, and so it's just quite challenging to, like, yeah, keep up with what's going on in different parts of the country.
Yeah, and like I'm in the South here. This is the South. Okay, this is like the people who live here have Southern accents, and the way the South is a completely different like lifestyle. Like just even like how they run businesses down here is just not what I'm used to as living in the Northeast. Um, like I'm sure it's a culture shock to like go to New York. Like I'm sure if you've lived in like rural North Carolina your whole life, I'm sure.
I've never been to either of the Carolinas or the Virginias. I mean,
It's very pretty. I
yeah.
mean, it is. The Outer Banks are truly it's very gorgeous down here. The beaches are really nice. It's a lot of beaches. I mean, it's just so much. So obviously along the coast, but I just mean there's a lot of places, a lot of rentals and everything. So anyway, it's been nice. The weather has been nice, and the kids are having a good time. And the weather has actually, or the water has been warm. I don't think I've ever been down here where the water has been this warm. So it's been really nice.
Is it, like, too warm? Like, where it's not refreshing because of how hot
No,
it
it's
is
still.
outside? It's still good. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's still.
the water's good to go in. Okay.
Yeah, and speaking of jumping in the water, so the 3 of us have been following, Kelsey, um, who recently rode
Kelsey Pfendler
Kelsey
to give
Friendler,
her
who
yeah.
recently rode from California to Hawaii, and, we've, like, followed her journey, and it was so fun to
Oh my
follow,
gosh, it was so amazing.
and she did land, a few days ago in Hawaii, and she beat the solo record. She beat the women and the men's record.
Yeah,
She made it in like 44 days or
and she's
something
the first American woman to do it.
to do it. Yeah. I mean, it was just funny because I was like, we were in the ocean and I don't know, I said something about swimming in the middle of the ocean. I don't remember. And my daughter was immediately, she's like, do you know about the woman who's rowing? I've seen her all over TikTok. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that like, hey, like my daughter had been following it, but she
Yeah,
had been, which I
I
thought was
love
really,
that.
really, and right away she's like, she beat the men and women's record. Like she said it.
She did. She
Yeah.
did. And, like, I mean, and I was following her on both Instagram and TikTok, so I was, like, all over it. And there was, on one of her socials, she had an interview that she did before she left, and she was asked, like, "What do you hope to find out there?" You know? And, very, like, introspective question, and she's like, "I don't know." She's like, "I hope to find me, you know, I hoped
Mm.
she's like and then she's like, "Really?" She goes, "I just wanna listen to audiobooks and eat snacks." Which is what she did to pass the time.
Oh, I didn't realize she was
Yeah.
listening to audiobooks. That's so funny. I didn't know
Yeah, she
that.
was listening to audiobooks. And then, I think I saw that you had liked her post, like her reflection post, like after being on land for 4 days and
Mhm.
talking about how she was not expecting the reception she got, um, it, uh when she made it to Oahu, and she's like, she goes, "My team and I thought I was gonna get there between, like, 12 a.m. and 2 a.m., and so we didn't expect, you know, many people to be there." She goes, "But then I got, like, a really good current, and it just, like, buoyed my spirit, and I was, like, rowing really hard." And she got in at, like, 9 o'clock at night, and, like, the whole harbor was filled with people, and she's like, "You know, after being alone for 40 plus days," she's like, "I was overwhelmed." She's like, "I went and hid in a supply closet in the hotel
I
for a
believe it.
while because she's like, I just couldn't, you know, couldn't deal with all the
Like,
people."
totally
Yeah, I mean, she could
overstimulated.
barely walk when she
Yeah.
got up.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. She hadn't walked.
She hadn't walked. She hadn't been
I
on
feel
solid
like,
land for 44 days.
oh my God, that literally just occurred to me now.
So
I
when
was
she
Did
like,
you
got
oh,
up,
see
she,
when she climbed out of the boat? Like
she did
I
look
mean,
unsteady,
she didn't fall, but she was very unsteady.
which you would be, duh. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't I think of that?
She either rowed or she swam. Like,
Yeah,
speaking of swimming in the middle of the ocean, like, that gave me the most anxiety.
yeah.
When she would just like, tether herself to the boat and just jump off and go for a swim
It
with
freaks me out.
nothing anywhere. Anywhere.
Yeah.
yeah, that was what was wild to watch and think about that and be like, so I'm like, of course, like statistically, you're good. Like, do it, swim, live it. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I live by the ocean and I am not a I think it's funny because somebody made fun of me a while ago because I was like, when I die, I'm like, just take me off in a boat. And like, we've got a really big trench in like the Monterey Trench it's not like the Mariana Trench, but I mean, it's very deep. It's like a mile long trench. That's why we get like giant squid in the bay and stuff like that. And so I was like, just take me over it, drop me in, like, fuck it. Like,
Mhm.
why not? You know, do it like the
I
sailors of
don't
old.
I don't I don't think that's legal.
No, no, it totally is. It's
It is?
absolutely,
You
of
can
course it's
do it?
legal. Of course it's legal. You can drop a body a mile offshore as long as it's weighted.
Are you
Really?
serious?
Yes, I did my research. I was like, it's free.
Oh
Dude,
my
I
gosh.
didn't know that.
I'm gonna put that in my will. Take me take me
I'm like,
what
just row me out, get up, put me in a
yeah.
boat and dump me off the side. Just weight me down and like, yeah, down I go. And so, yeah, you have to be, I believe, let me check. I believe it's a mile out. Burial at sea. 1 second here. Burial at,
I didn't know, like, civilians could just do that. That's wild.
oh, you have to be buried at least 3 miles off the coast.
That's wouldn't take long to reach. But
Yeah.
though, wasn't it called like thalassophobia or something when you're like when you have a phobia of like large, deep bodies of water? Is that I forget what it is now, but I've seen like reels or whatever or like slideshows of like meant to trigger that phobia, and I have it. It freaks me the
I don't
hell out. Like,
know.
I love getting in the ocean, okay? But when I can see the beach. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
But jumping where there's nothing around me and I can't see where that
I
freaks
did
me.
that once. I did that once, and it was when I was in Hawaii. And it was it was a snorkeling, like, tour, like, off the coast of Maui. And you go, like, a couple miles out, and then they drop you, and then you jump in. And you have your mask on and you have your snorkel, and so, like, the mask, you have no peripheral vision, and
Right.
I had, like, a mild panic attack when I jumped in because 'cause I'm like, I can't see the boat, like, I couldn't see land. It was wild. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
I am
sure.
not an ocean girly at all.
We went to the Great Barrier Reef,
Surprise.
and that felt okay to me because, like, it's I mean, you're out there basically, but, like, where we went, we did, like, we did, like, a pretty touristy, so, like, you go out and there's, like, big floating boats, essentially, and so you go out to, like, a big floaty boat, so that way, like, my in-laws who weren't gonna snorkel or dive could, like, go and do, like, the glass bottom, and you can go down and have a look at some things like that. Poppy was Poppy was brave until she wasn't brave. So we saw a leatherback turtle out there. So we saw sharks. There were like fairly large reef sharks, but like they were like pretty disinterested, and that didn't feel super scary because they were so disinterested, and there were so many people. I was like, well, like I mean, there was probably like maybe 100 people in our group or something, and so I was like, they're not coming for me. But I mean, they were like way bigger than I was, but it just felt like they weren't like nothing felt super interested. But we were we saw a leatherback sea turtle, and those look pretty, like those aren't like the cute Nemo sea turtles. They look a little bit wild. And so Poppy almost drowned me because she jumped on my back and was trying to crawl away because she thought it was an eel coming out of like a rock. I'm like, even if it was an eel coming out of a rock, I still don't deserve to die. But yeah, she like panicked when she saw that. But yeah, for anybody interested in a burial at sea, I've always just thought, look, when you die, like it's never pleasant to think about dying, but then it's like, why not be extra with it? Like why, like I was like, why not just like, what can you do that would be mildly?
Do you have to pay anything to do it?
No.
So it's totally free. Just dump a body in the ocean.
So this is for the United States. You will need to look for your home country to see what your rules are.
But I like
States, it has to be 3 nautical miles, which is 3.4 land miles from the nearest shoreline. And in addition, the water has to be at least 600 feet. So that really is going to dictate. So Monterey Bay works because we've got that big trench, right? So it's going to get quite deep quite quickly. Some places you might have to go quite a bit further out than 3.4 miles in order to hit that ocean depth.
I think of all the logistics of it. I'm like, is there a permit you have to file? Like, do you have to prove that the body you have is not a murdered body, but a body that died of natural causes?
Just pulling up the burial at sea. I'm looking at the EPA, the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Trump has not removed this. You must. It's just, I mean, there's a whole thing. It says to report a burial of sea, you must notify the EPA of the burial at sea within 30 days following the event.
So you could just dump a body. And then be like, yo, I dumped a body.
This is fascinating. The permit, it says that it does not require an application or prior notice to the EPA. So you don't need to tell them ahead of time. You can use your own boat.
I just picture like local law enforcement, like seeing people like pulling a body, like a wrapped body out of the trunk of their car.
Just rolling it off the boat.
That's what I'm saying. Just throw me out, wrap me in canvas, put the needle through my nose. Like, and so I was telling somebody that though, and they're like, you don't even go in the ocean. They're like, you don't even go here. Like, what are you doing as like yieldy? Like, what's you? And I was like, I mean, fair, like, do I want my mortal remains to be at the bottom of like the trench with like the old like ancient octopus or the whale graveyard? I'm like,
maybe.
I'm not opposed.
Yeah. I mean, I would provide sustenance for the sea creatures, right? Like they would eat me.
What if though, what if that's what you have in your last will and testament to do, and then it's done and it turns out you were only mostly dead?
Well, that's why you do the burial at sea, where they sew you into the canvas, and then they put the last one goes through your nose to make sure you don't flinch. That's what they would do. That's what they would do with the sailors back in the day.
Oh,
sew you into your hammock, and then the last stitch would go through the nose.
Oh, that would wake you up.
And if you stayed pretty chill, you were probably gone.
You're probably dead.
I'd like to not be mostly dead. I don't want to be Mitch McConnell. I want to be dead. Take me off the life support.
Stop.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I don't even know where to segue here.
Well, we've taken you all out and dropped you. You never know what you're going to get. And today you have found a fun fact. Next time, look, I might be back to see how are we going to, like, can you burn someone in a pyre in your backyard?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, I was wrong about burial at sea, so maybe I'm wrong about a funeral pyre in the backyard. You need permission to burn leaves around here, so I would think
you need a permit to burn for burning.
Yeah, I just have a lot of logistical questions about the burial at sea, but like I said, and then do they have to like Weekend at Bernie's me out there? Like,
right? This is what I'm saying. Like,
my kids were all like, "God damn it, Mom!"
Actually, that would be amazing. Like, you're not even wrapped in any sort of thing. You're just propped, like, on a chair,
Well,
on, like,
yeah,
a
I'm like,
seat in
take
the
a boat
boat.
out. I don't want you spending money. Like the last thing in the world, I will drop big money on BTS tickets. Do not drop. I don't want you to drop the gas money to get me wherever I gotta go, and then that's it. Like, I do not want, like, what a waste of money for me personally. Do not spend the money on me.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
what I do want to say, and I have now a segue, is what I will spend money on is apparently streaming services.
Yeah.
God.
Because I recently, so I have a love-hate relationship with Aichi, where I stop and start it all the time. I stop and start it a few times a year. So I'm back on a start because I wanted to watch a drama that I want to give some sales pitches on. And I'm not done yet, which is ludicrous because I'm like, it's not very long and I'm very close to the end, but I got caught up in more World Cup and I've been working really late at night. So for the last couple of nights, I thought I was going to be well done by the time I finished. I thought I was going to binge it all in 2 days. It's called Fake Fact Lips. An
That's
interesting
not
name.
easy to say
Not easy to say.
at all.
Um, but I really enjoy where it's at right now. So I'm curious to see where it's going to go to wrap up. But essentially, it is they were high school rivals. They are now both in like corporate, I believe Tokyo, as like rivals in sales for a company. Product unknown nor important. And they're constantly like bickering and fighting in the office. But then you become to realize that like they're also friendly. So like they're gonna fight and they're gonna like ward out in the office, but then they're gonna meet up after. And essentially the premise is like they're constantly setting like challenges for each other, and then like what the winner or loser has to do in those challenges. And and so like I got the best sales in this quarter, blah blah blah. Like so I'm buying you like you're buying me the drink tonight, kind of thing, stuff like that. So one thing leads to another, and I'm gonna say that this drama, JBL's, I am not a deep expert, right? I've not seen them all, but I've seen, more than a few. They tend to me to always be a little restrained, very full of yearning and really emotional, but not super sexual. Like I'd say like if I was gonna think of more spicy, I'm usually gonna think of like a Thai BL for being like a more of like a spicy fiesta. Not so with this drama. So this drama opens with some Ride 'em Cowboy. And I like and like it's like so it's like kind of like a fast forward. Like you might be wondering how I got here type of thing. And so, it starts there and then we get into like what's a little like jacking off your buddy. Like what's a little of that, Like what's a little of that between friends. And then it turns into, well, let me try to like reconcile what we've done to say, what if our challenge is who can make the other fall in love first with me. Like, I bet you'll fall in love with me first or vice versa. You know what? A ludicrous, slightly brain rotty, yet perfectly bingeable topic. Like, it is what I want when I like, I really feel like there's a lot of me that when I'm watching stuff right now, like, don't overthink it. Like, go right to my id. Like, I don't need a lot of bells and whistles. I don't need a lot of plotting. I don't need a lot of like sinister third party plots. I don't need scheming in laws or business partners. I kind of just want to see something that's like two guys who probably always wanted to jump each other, make a bet of who's going to want to do it first so they can find a way to get to their feelings. Sold. I am like, like
Right.
simple, clean, nice.
I love that.
And so, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'd say that there does not seem to be at this point, I'm probably 75% through. I don't feel like there's a lot happening, like, and not in a bad way. There's feelings happening. I don't think that there's a really big external plot that's carrying it through at the moment, nor do I need it to be. And they're fairly short, which makes it pretty nice. So I tend to watch at 2 times speed because, like, it's actually not that fast or distracting to watch it at 2 times speed. Like, I don't feel like they're like it's not like my daughter will listen to Audible at, like, these wildly fast speeds that, like, just feel distracting. Like, it feels like those, like, micro car commercials from when we were little or whatever, where the guy would just talk really fast, blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
so these it just feels like it speeds up a little bit to where, like, I get through them a little bit faster. And then, like, the beginning of JBLs often have, like, 4 minutes of catch up to the episode before. So these episodes end up being like 18, 19 minutes. So you're just kind of like pow, 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 and watch them.
Yeah.
And so I would just say they're hot. I mean, like, we have On the Knees BJs. We have, like I said, What's a Little Jacking Off a Friend, you know? We
Yeah.
have Ride 'em Cowboy. And so again, I am at my heart an unabashed voyeuristic pervert that is not going to mind not having that, but is never going to mind having it if I'm entertained by the plot. It's not going to ever hold me if I don't care. Like, there have been some Thai BLs that have been, like, quite hot, like, whatever the one was with the honey. What was the name of that one where they got, like, the honey everywhere and they were, like, fucking in the
Oh,
honey?
Top Form.
Top Farm. And no hate, like, whatever. It's just, like, to me, I wasn't that invested. So, like, they were doing some, like, wildly, like, kinky shit, and I kinda coulda cared less. But in this case, it's carrying it enough for me. So I would say if you wanna have something and when I'm saying brain rot, I'm saying it with, like, brain rot, with a thumbs up. Like, sometimes there's bad brain rot that's like, "Stay away." This is brain rot with a thumbs up, and I feel like I'm saying brain rot because it's so simplistic, but the feelings feel genuine, like, they're genuinely lovely. Like, it's like I'm saying brain rot, and if anyone wants to wag their finger, go ahead, because I'm really, like, I'm not saying it in, like, a very like, I'm being pretty facetious when I'm saying it. It's just it's pretty simplified, but I think you get good feels and good fun, and so I like it. And I do wanna give one last before I started Fake Fact Love, I realized it was on iQIYI because I thought it was on Viki, so I went to Viki, didn't see it, and was like, "Man, I just don't feel like buying iQIYI tonight." So I rewatched the first season of, My Beautiful Ma'am.
I knew you
My
were gonna
I
say that. I
knew
just
I knew
knew
you were gonna say that.
it.
watched it the whole first season in the first night,
I love it.
obviously, but I watched it with Poppy and Bronte, my 2 daughters,
Mhm.
and I forgot, and shame on me, not for being a questionable parent because you know what? I can take it. Shame on me for forgetting the excellent finger in the mouth moment in the first season of My Beautiful Man. But let's just say that I do not believe that the finger in the mouth appreciation extends towards my young spawn. Because Poppy was like, "What is he doing?" Mind you, she's 10 years old. Mind you, this is also not like this is not full on. Like what
It's
happens is
not.
they fall down, fully clothed, non-sexually. They and one of them gets a finger boo-boo. And the other one is so overcome because they are on the floor together and the sexual tension has been mounting that he takes that finger and he looks at it like it is the answer to life itself. It is a holy relic. And then with much respect and awe, deep throats that thing down to the bottom knuckle. And I was like, oh, it is kind of sexy. But I mean, like, it's not like, I mean, there's like way wilder things out there for sure. But she was just like, what is this? And I was like, oh my. Well,
Maybe there's something you need to know about mommy.
yeah, I was like, I don't think it brought these certain, like, neither of them will want to welcome that knowledge. So I
No.
couldn't be like, well, it's a finger in the mouth. Let's talk about a finger in the mouth. So I was just kind of like, well, it looks as if he wanted to help his friend. And then maybe he thought it felt nice. And people do things when they're having big feelings, don't they?
Oh
Sometimes.
my God.
And so then for like the next 2 days, she'd be like, I can't believe that you made me watch a show where they took the finger and then just, oh, and like she like acts it out. And I'm like, okay,
Now I'm worried.
now I'm worried. Like, and so I leave you with that question before I tap out of what I've been watching as a catch up. Did I cross a line of misappropriation? I'm kidding. I don't think I'm fine. But it was just funny to watch her like grappling. So I'm like, I think this is something she would go away and sit and think about and ruminate. And someday when I'm older, she's going to be like, Mom, like, we got to talk about the fact I saw that finger in the mouth that one time.
Oh my God. That I love that. And also like the more you talk about this show, which I know is a lot, and I don't mind it, the more I wonder if that's the way to reel my daughter into K-drama is to start with BLs with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I tried with Crash Landing on You, and she
No,
nope.
go with BLs, because BLs are the only thing Bronte will watch with me,
Yeah.
are
So
BLs.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
try that.
if there was, like, girl, easiest sell ever, but
Yeah.
they're just so little that
Well,
makes
I mean, like, she's a film major, and she wants to watch The Handmaiden, like, it's on her list. She's like, "I will not watch that with you." I'm like, "That's fair. That's fair."
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I mean, like, I mean, I've told her a lot about it, and she's like, I think I'm she's like, "I think it's something that I wanna watch on my own without you." I'm like, "That's okay." I'm like, "Just letting you know I would watch it again, but, like,
great
that's
finger in
okay."
the mouth too, great finger
Great
in the
finger
mouth
in the
with
mouth and lots of other
yeah.
stuff. That does go beyond finger in the mouth.
That
But
mouth goes everywhere.
I'm excited for her to watch that. But yeah, maybe that's what I need to, because she wants to watch Parasite, so we need to do that together. She loved Past Lives, so I'm reeling her in slowly to the K content. I think now that we are 30 minutes in, we should probably let people know. I mean, it's in the show title, but this is uncensored tonight. So we're just going to be all over the place. So expect like no warning of anything, because what we're saying is just coming, as it comes. This is
You're gonna find
summer
out
is
what
rough.
with your dead body, you're gonna find
Yeah,
out that
you never
my
know.
beautiful man has a beautiful finger in the mouth, and you're gonna find out that
So many good things to learn tonight.
Fake Fact Loves takes it down to the knees. And with that, I feel like I have spoken enough, and I cede the floor to someone else.
So I was just saying that like summer is very hard for me to get watch time in because my kids are around a lot, which I love. Like my daughter's gone all year at school, and I love that she's home for the summer. But when my kids are here in the house with me, we're watching stuff together, which is great, but it's not like if I'm alone with my son, we're watching anime, which is great. And if I'm alone with my daughter, we're watching movies. And if I'm with the two of them, we're watching something that all three of us want to watch. This is all just to say that I don't get a lot of alone time to watch just my stuff. So I'm still very slowly making it through my Royal Nemesis. I'm halfway through now. We will be doing a deep dive on this, I promise you all. Um, but also, the nostalgia has been huge since the episode that Megan and I recorded a couple weeks ago. Um, was that last week? It was last week. Oh my gosh, I have no concept of time. That was just
It was
last
last
week.
week.
It's the
It
episode
was
that
last
dropped
week.
today. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and those were K-drama moments that like we never skip, like scenes that we'll watch over and over again. And I've been getting fed like so many Goblin scenes that I have started rewatching Goblin too, very slowly. Because that's I mean, like, it's such a comfort to just watch something that you love that you know you're gonna love. Um, and I've been chasing that feeling for a while in dramas and haven't. I mean, not the actual Goblin feeling. Nothing is gonna ever be Goblin to me. Like, let's just put that out there. Nothing is ever gonna be Goblin to me. But I haven't had that feeling in a while of something that just gives me all of the feelings, all of the emotions, and I'm just compelled to watch. Um, so hopefully that's coming soon.
So I'm also watching my Royal Nemesis, working my way kind of slowly through it. And I think it's because I think the episode I'm on, I'm either on 5 or 6. I just feel like it's moving a little slow. Like I'm
It
kind of getting
is.
like repetitive scenes. And the thing is, the thing that kind of bums me out about it is that I really, really love the leads. So I kind of just wish the like plot was moving as like faster. That's my only kind of bummer about it, which, isn't a horrible criticism. Like there are worse things, but that's why it's like really slow for me. Um, and then I decided to start Sammy's Children's Day, which again, these freaking titles of BLs will be the death of me.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they will be the death of me.
it's that something is definitely getting lost in the translation, and
It
that's
is.
that's on
It
us.
is.
Like,
It's
yeah,
just there's like not a lot of effort to like
make it make
kind of
sense.
to make it. Yeah, I mean it does sort of like when you watch the show, but it still is just like not a good title. Like for a mafia BL, and you call it Sammy's
Sammy's
Children's.
Children's Day.
So I don't know. I'm a few episodes in. It is wild. So it's a Thai BL, and it's set I think in like 1980s Hong Kong. So actually no, it's not Thai. I'm sorry. Or it's not a Thai BL. It's from Hong Kong. And it is set in do you guys remember? I think it's called like Kowloon City. It was when it was that like very like huge massive like structure that was like its own city. Like Hong Kong was just like, you know what? Like govern yourself. And it was a really like packed structure where people lived really close. So it takes place in there and it's about this like mafia guy and basically like a student from Kowloon City who was like it's like one of the first of like the village to graduate college, I think, or something. I don't know. I will be honest, like the details in this are sketchy. Like I'm not always sure what's going on. But what's wild is the plot of this is the mafia guy kidnaps the student and then he's like, I'm making a movie. So insane. I'm making a movie. I need you to write the script for me. That's the like he's a mafia boss. You figure out later it's like because his sister is having some health issues. She almost has what I think is like sort of dementia. Like she sort of like loses a little bit of grip on reality. She's like very forgetful. And like she's starring in this movie. And but the thing is he hasn't written the script yet. And he shows up and they're filming as he's writing the script, which doesn't make any sense. How are they filming when he like the script isn't done? It doesn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden it's a movie. Like you have no concept of a time jump. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of time jump and they're going to see the movie. It's so weird. It's so weird.
I'm not following any of this.
I know because I don't even know how to it's so weird. But the thing is the romance is between like the student and the mafia boss. But and I mentioned this on a Patreon live we had recently. But I'm really into this relationship that's clearly between the mafia boss and like his boss, who is kind of like an older brother. I think the older boss like has always had a crush on this guy, on the like the younger mafia boss. I'm into that relationship, but that's, not long for this world. Like that's not happening. But I am really inspired by it. So I'm going to keep going. Like it's a lot of hurt comfort. Okay. Now he's being like hunted, the mafia boss guy, and has to seek refuge. And they're both incredibly hot. Like I have to admit, like smoking hot. And I think it's kind of cool that it takes place in like 1980s Hong Kong. I think that's really neat. So yeah, so that's what I'm watching now. And what I'm very excited to watch that's coming up is first A Shop for Killers. I don't think it's out yet. I don't think it's out yet. If it like
I can look it up really quick while you're talking about it.
okay. So this is A Shop for Killers 2. So the first one we all loved. We did a deep dive on it.
I don't think Leah loved it.
But I mean, Leah didn't love it. Okay.
But I mean, like,
Leah,
I didn't have
Leah
like
tolerate it. July 22nd.
July 22nd. That's right. It's the end of the month. So, well, I mean, I did like I thought it was very exciting. And the first season was so open-ended. Like the last scene was like both Amy and I were like, I remember
it could have ended. Here's the thing. Yeah, it could have ended and then it had like this sort of like coda like to the end. It could have just ended and we could have been like, okay, that's a season. This could go on to a second season, but I'm okay right now. But then they added that one scene that like was like a what the fuck.
Yeah.
And then how many years has it been since that came out?
Right. And we're like, what the hell? And of course it stars Lee Dong-wook. And so we've been like waiting to see like what comes of this. And so A Shop for Killers is basically about Lee Dong-wook is like he owns a supply store for
hitmen,
baddies, for hitmen.
Yeah, it's a fun concept.
It is. It's a really fun concept. And in the first season, he's dead. And so his niece essentially has to like figure out what happened, and then also she realizes that there's like this whole basement of like weapons underneath where she's been living.
And
And
it's this whole like conglomerate of like baddies who have like a hierarchy, and if he's out, it's it's like a fight to the death to see who's going to be the new owner of the shop for killers.
right, and it's very cool too because they keep introducing characters and you don't know for a while if these characters are good or bad. So you're like you're not sure who to root for, which I always really like. And the baddies that were actually bad were good baddie. Like it was a good they were good villains. So
Yes.
anyway, I hope season 2 is good. Like I'm nervous
And it's
'cause
violent. It is violent. Like it's not normally something I would watch, but I watched it because of Lee Dong-wook and I liked the story, but like it's violent.
yeah,
And it was
it
well no, here's how Megan sold me it. I forgot. Megan's like, you don't really see much, like, because in the first, so there's 8 episodes in season 1. So I'll give it to you from like the hating violence perspective. There's 8 episodes in season 1, and episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 are sort of seen from the perspective of his niece when she's a little girl, and all these things that she learned about like how her parents died and like, you know, kind of who he's involved with. And so she sees these murders kind of happening, but she's watching through like a slit in a door, or she's like hiding in a morgue, and just like kind of listening to a
Mm,
fight.
right.
Right. So in the first 4 episodes, the violence is more implied.
Mhm,
And then you get to the latter half, and the violence is no longer implied. It's
right.
all out because she's a teen, and she's grown up, and so she's part of it now. Because people are trying to kill her to get this store, to get this shop. So yeah, just be warned that it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it is a lot of gun violence, which can be different for K-dramas.
Yeah,
So, like, again,
I mean, there's some stabbing.
there is.
There's an axe. Like there's
There is.
stuff. Yeah.
It still is not, um, my top most violent is still Mercy for None. Nothing I don't think anything will top.
You know, it's not squelchy. It's
Yeah,
not
it's not
squelchy.
squelchy.
Like the deaths are quick. They're not like that. No, nobody's getting tortured. Everything is quick.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's a lot of and
yeah.
again, it's a lot of gun violence, which I think is why it's like quicker. But yeah, I'm really excited for season 2, mostly just because I love Lee Dong-wook in these types of roles. I thought he had a really cool character, and I'm excited to like learn because that's the whole thing. We need to learn more about him. So we're excited about that. And then I think all of us are also excited about season 2 of Better Late Than Single.
Yes. I mean, excited in the sense that I hope they do better by these singles
I
than they
know.
did last year. And if anybody, if you didn't watch the show last year, just to give you an idea of what it's about, it is a dating show, a Korean dating show for people who have never dated. And so these are people who have like some social anxieties, some, you know, who are very sheltered in the life of dating, right? And I think it was a great concept last year, but I think the showrunners, producers, whatever, didn't quite know what a heavy mental lift doing something like this would be, because these people definitely needed some therapeutic coaching. Wouldn't you
There
say?
were some people that genuinely feared like they were having mental breaks during the first season.
Yes.
And like it became it was not fun to watch. Like I actually became it felt sad. And I didn't pity them. I was like I was more angry at the producers because I was like they're not being supported. Like you're throwing these people to the wolves. So I'm curious if they took any I mean, they wouldn't have taken our feedback, but I
I'm
don't think
nervous.
that
I don't think they're
yeah,
going to.
I don't think
No,
they're
I
going
don't.
to I think it's gonna be the same, but I'm willing to give it a shot because 'cause I'm curious if they in any way helped out these people more than they did in the first season. Um, because we weren't the only like I feel like our reaction was very similar to how other people reacted um just from following other accounts that review the show. So I don't know, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch. I'm curious how they handle it, and we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we're being cautiously optimistic, but
I'm not. I'm
no.
still gonna settle up and watch it and see, but I don't feel optimistic.
Okay.
Gosh, I really hope so. Because I mean, it seriously was painful to watch some of the things these people went through last year.
Yeah, because it became like at first we were like, I remember we started watching it and we're like, this is the best thing that they've ever done out of Korea. This is incredible. Like we really were on board at the beginning.
Yes.
And then it took a turn where we all started to feel like I almost felt like I shouldn't be like watching. Like
Yeah,
I
it
was
felt
like, this
like
feels.
morally I was like, "Am I complicit in
Right.
something that
Right.
is
Right.
not a snuff film, but, like, it feels, like, very, like, morally questionable," and here I am back at the trough being like and so this time I do reserve the right, if I feel really squicked, to just be like, "I gotta stop."
Same.
That's fine.
Same.
I think we need to, yeah, because I don't want to watch it and then like just feel bad about it. Like that's not fun.
Right.
Who wants to do that?
Right.
So, yeah, I'm hoping there's just, and that's what surprises me too, because I just would have expected from Korea, I would have expected it to be done with a little bit more care the first season. So it surprised me that it wasn't. Like to be honest, I really was surprised that it wasn't handled better. So I guess we'll see what season 2 is. And also I will say what might go better is these people probably at least watch season 1. So maybe
But they're
they
getting
also
into
are maybe a little bit
Right.
more prepared, whereas
Right.
That's true.
the people in the first season, I don't think had any idea what they were walking into and they were not prepared. So it might feel better because these people might have been like, okay, I see what happened last time. Um, I've like prepared myself or something. I don't know. Just get therapy for them. That's all we ask. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so the first 4 episodes as of right now have already dropped for that. So we're gonna dive right in. Uh I don't like is it me? Like I don't have attention span for 90-minute episodes right
It's
now.
the worst.
It's
I don't either.
hard. It's
No.
hard. Um so yeah, just I mean, listeners be forewarned that they are long episodes. And so if you're having trouble like I am, just kind of focusing this summer, um, they are long. But I do what Leah does, and I do watch on 1.5 when it's a really long episode.
Yeah, I
So,
am struggling with my attention span this summer too. I am. I am. It's hard.
and maybe that's why I kind of went to a comfort drama too, because I can kind of not zone out, but I don't have to pay full attention when I'm watching, and I know what's happening, and I know I'm gonna like it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just the summer. I'll get back into my groove,
I
hopefully.
know.
I'm not having it for summer, I just say that I have it for I mean, it's just like it feels very just obvious to say. It's like if I'm hooked, I'm just gonna go for it, and that's fine. It's just that, like, it's going to be like, if you're gonna have an episode be an hour and a half, for example, what are you doing to carry it? Like, what are you doing
Right.
to carry the whole thing? And so I'm not opposed, like, sign me up, and if I'm into it, I'll be into I can do anything if I'm into it. It's just that it's like, are you gonna make it so that I'm into it?
Yeah. How are you like propelling the episode forward? Because if it doesn't feel like it's being pushed forward, it's very frustrating. And I think that's what I think's happening with my role nemesis. I want to feel propelled forward. And I'm having a hard time just sitting I feel like some dramas I can just kind of like sit in the yearning, but that's not this type of drama.
No.
So
No, and I'm
I
kind of in the
need it.
same place with it. Like I like it, but
Yeah,
I'm
same.
not compelled by it.
Yeah.
So I finished it, and I will say that for me a couple things. One is this has been a drama that from, like, listening to hearing from listeners, I'd say that either people are tending I'm not feeling like people are falling out on it with, like, strong dislike. I feel like people are either like, "It's fine," or, "This is the best. I love it so, 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 so much." And, that, like, for at least for people who've talked to me about the drama, that's what I tend to be hearing. I'm either hearing, "Eh," or I'm hearing like, a very, very, very firm like. And or not like top drama. And I am probably more in the I like it category. I didn't finish it being like, oh my gosh, the best thing ever. But what I will say is that the two leads I found to be incredibly likable throughout. Um, Even if I felt like the story sometimes wasn't going in directions that I was loving, or I was a little bit like, okay, come on, come on, come on. I felt like they were really fun to watch all through, and so that part, I think, was a heavyweight for me. I think a couple things propelled me through that, the fact that my daughter was like, if you don't finish another drama, I don't know if I can watch dramas with you anymore
Oh
because,
my
I
God.
just don't finish so many dramas." And so she was just like, "We gotta finish." And I was like, "Of course we'll finish it."
Yeah.
And I, genuinely didn't I was never, dreading watching it. I would just put it on, but I was never like, "Yes." And I think that's the thing that I'm looking for is, when I'm
Yeah.
like, "I can't wait, clear the table, hook me up, and, pump me in." And like I said, My Beautiful Man, I put it on the other night to just be like, I just wanna show you 2, a series that I really like, and then I'm like, I'm sitting here just watching the whole. And again, it's short, you can watch the whole series in, a sit it's
Yeah.
probably, 2 hours or
Yeah, I
something.
was gonna say, isn't it like a movie length?
Yeah, I'd say that the seasons are about a movie length, but, yeah, super I was like, "I could keep going, but I feel like I've just, scarred you with fingers in the mouth, so we'll take a break." And I wasn't
You
gonna get
I
them to, the rubber ducky in the bathtub situation where, later they fuck in the bathtub, spoiler, and the way they handle it is fun because you don't see them
Yeah,
fucking, you just see the bath
You see the
water
duck?
getting more and
the duck
more
bobbing,
That's
turbulent, and then the
funny.
duck just kinda, careens out of the tub.
the
Oh
duck
my gosh, that's
bobbing on
awesome. I
the
love that.
their waves of fucking, it's great. It's great.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's
Oh
such
my
a
But
good
I
gosh.
do think so for me, where I wanna get back to is, all of us are trying. I think I'm going to like it. People have talked to me about it enough. I do think I'm genuinely gonna enjoy it. The reason I think I've just not jumped quite into it yet has been a few things. One is I just hoed out on World Cup so hardcore. I mean, to where I was like, during the peak of it, now it feels weird because 'cause we're kinda, towards the end and, there's no game today, for example. Yesterday, there was, 1 game. But, in the meat of it, I mean, there were times where I was, 7 hours of my day was taken up in watching games, not to mention then, a few more hours watching, the commentary around it. I mean, I've literally spent, 10 hours at least in a day just, imprinted on my couch, not seeing the outdoors, not having air on my face, just festering on my I think my couch has, a permanent imprint from me watching group stages of the World Cup. And so I was like, do I now wanna pivot to, a emotional, intelligent slice of life? No, I feel like I'm kind of in the mood for, just reading now, Omegaverse fan fiction or something. I need to do something that's just gonna my brain's already I'm just like, "Ah," so just, keep me here. Yeah, I'm not elevated. So as we are now moving and, things are opening up again, I think I do wanna watch that, and you know what? I think, I'm gonna go for Pursuit of Jade. I have not watched a C-drama since Fairy and Devil.
Me too.
Patreon really liked Pursuit of Jade, and I am kind of just curious to see I wanna see if I like it as much as everybody else did, and it feels like a fun summer vibe, and people talk about how, they liked it so much that when they were watching it, I think the thing that got me was one of our Patreon members, Courtney, said that while she was waiting for episodes to come out, she would just be going back and rewatching episodes that were already out, and I'm like, that is a devotion that
Yeah.
is hot to me.
Yep. Agree.
There
Agree.
also is a there also is an Omegaverse Thai BL
There
coming
is
out
not.
called
So I
Not.
got Aichi, I'm gonna try. I feel like I've been burned. What was it? Pitbull that was Omegaverse, but,
Pit Babe. No, Pit Babe was
Babe.
terrible. Pit Babe
Yeah.
was so bad.
Well, I mean, somebody must have liked Pit Babe, but
I know.
Pit Babe was not for me.
It
But
well,
Not are
yeah,
you hearing anything about Not? Are people enjoying it?
I don't know. I really like the leads though. So the leads were in a drama that I didn't like. The drama itself was not good. But I liked them. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to watch them again if it's a better drama. You know what I mean? Or with
So, just
better.
for the folks at home who aren't deep in Omegaverse, because I've started sending you Omegaverse now just because we're getting to the Norway-England game, and I'm in, I'm in the pervert area of World Cup because of course that's where I ended up. And so I'm getting reels that are not serious. Let me just be very clear. I understand. I am not a dum-dum. I can be a delusional person. I am just going to enjoy some good, fun objectification of cute players. And so I'm getting like Omegaverse World Cup like stuff about players, which
So funny.
I
It's
consent to get it. Thank you, and I enjoy it, and I live my life, but, like, I told Megan, I'm like, "This is where I feel like I flesh out in as a fan, is, like, give me players and, like, talk to me about their ruts on, on the field." But that being said, I think maybe we should just do a really quick recap in case you don't know what a Megaverse is and you feel too dumb to ask.
God. Okay. Well, a megaverse is typically
Also known as ABO, A/B/O. So if you
which
ever
stands for
Alpha, beta,
alpha,
omega, right?
beta, omega. So typically a megaverse, these are non-shifters. These are non-shifter people,
they can
and
shift, but they typically are
they
going
can shift. I would say most of megaverse don't shift. Um, and alphas are alphas. They're like a dominant um being,
they
okay?
will refer to their wolf inside them.
Yeah.
That is
And
pretty
a lot
common.
of and they're highly attracted to omegas. And so omegas will give off like pheromones and it will drive the alphas crazy and put them into a rut. And if you're reading like a megaverse fiction, it's a whole thing. Like there's self lubrication, like they have slick, they have
Yeah, and the
um
slick can often taste
heats,
delightfully good.
they have heats. I mean, there's a whole, even though every author kind of does their omegaverse differently, there's still kind of like basic tenets of omegaverse that most authors hit those because that's what readers like.
And
Which
they
would
will
be
get
like
it so
heats,
you'll have
nesting,
heat for the
nodding.
Omegaverse, and they'll make a nest, and their scent, and their scent's going to drive the alpha crazy, and then the alpha will go into rut. So if you put them together at the right time, shit can go banana-nanas. Sometimes you just deal with one or the other. But you don't have to be in rut to experience a knot, but if you are in rut, it's just gonna be knotting all the time. And so what happens is that when you do penetration, you don't just do that. You do what happened when I was in Montana, and I think I even talked about this at the time because we've talked about Omegaverse before.
Where are you going?
I've told this story. I was in Montana because that's where I went to my undergrad, and I heard a strange noise. I'm sure I've told this story in the pod. I swear I've told this story. And I went into my backyard, and there were 2 dogs in my backyard, and they were facing opposite directions. And they were both fretting, and they were stuck together. And I called 911 because I didn't know what was happening. I was like, these dogs are stuck together. And I didn't think about it sexually totally because I was like, they're not like, I was thinking a dog would be on top of the other dog if it was sexual. This was like they were looking like they were trying to get away from each other, but they were still stuck together. My friends, that's because a knot was in place. And what happens in the animal kingdom sometimes when 2 creatures might not love each other but are instinctually driven together through reproductive means is you go in and penetrate, and then the base will swell up to lock you in so that you can get your goods delivered into the hole of conception. And in that case, yeah, the dogs were locked together. My 911 dispatcher, bless them, said, put the hose on them. I did, and that killed the vibes, and they separated. And so, that doesn't happen in Omegaverse. Usually they stay knotted and it's a pleasurable part of the experience, and then they separate. And so this drama that's coming is called Knot, or that's out now is called Knot, as a reference to what happens when the alpha.
There's no megaverse drama
Yeah, so you're just saying the Tybia. There's a Tybia.
in the
Well,
time.
not,
Okay, okay.
and they're clearly showing the like pheromones. I've seen like some like the trailer or whatever, and they're showing the pheromones by like the like shimmering air. You know what I mean?
So this is what I like about Omegaverse is what's the parts that I like? I like the fact that like there is all this hefty lore around the relationship in Omegaverse. So there's often pheromones, there's often like, like they'll speak to each other. There's glands, they'll do like bite marks to do like claiming and then they're like bonded. And then yeah, of course we've got like the layers of extra like you're not just fucking, you got to bring the knot into the situation. I will say that when I get betas in Omegaverses, I usually am out. No offense
How
to the
do
betas.
okay, like how do betas that was my question.
Betas don't do shit.
As somebody who's never experienced
They're
a
just kind of
megaverse,
like the normies.
what's a
Yeah,
beta?
the betas
Okay.
are just like their friends usually.
And
You know
Okay.
what
there's
I
just like
mean?
and every once in a while there'll be like a beta Omegaverse or a beta alpha, and I'm like, what's the point? Like, just why did we give like, why can't we just have a world without betas? I'm always bummed when I get a beta. I'm like, get that beta out of here. I don't care. Get that beta right out of there. Like,
But
unless
the
the beta is like a sassy bestie. But I'm always like, then I'd just be fucking pissed. Like, knowing my luck, being the middle child of this COD, I would show up and be the fucking beta. And I'd be pissed. I'd be like, why do I not get to have like, like, I either want to be like knotting and like in it and like biting backs and necks and like all of that. Or I want to be like making my comfy nests and just like filled with slick and like this delight of sensual pleasure. And then if you're just the beta, you're like fucking Jan Brady. You're just like, what do you have to offer? Nothing? You smell kinda?
and a megaverse is interesting too because a lot of times too there is like obviously like there's some world building where it's like not contemporary. So a lot of times the omegas are they're either like severely abused, like just like a like part of the population. Sometimes they have to like go into hiding. Sometimes they have to do scent blockers to hide the fact that they're omegas, because sometimes omegas like don't have as many rights as alphas. Like there's a lot of also like cool world building that authors do surrounding a megaverse, which I also really like. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. So I'm excited about Not. I forgot that it is out, or at least an episode or two is out. So I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I gotta check it out too. I guess I just feel like I want to fly so close to the sun. Like, I want it to be so good. I just want to, and it doesn't have to be so good. Like, I read Omegaverse just kind of like, just whatever. Just give me Omegaverse. I'm just kind of like, I'm happy. I'm happy. It's like pizza, right? Even if it's like school lunch pizza, I'm still going to eat the shit out of school lunch pizza. And
Same.
so, but I'm like, just make it adhere to the conventions I want to adhere to. And I'm in.
Pit Babe basically didn't go far enough.
Not even close. I was like ready for it. That's what I felt like. I was like, you just sold me on like a lie of like, you gave me beta. You just betaed out my freaking.
Well, there was way too much racing and not enough Omegaverse, basically, is the deal with Pit Babe.
It's like fake fat clips. I want very little outside of just the relationship core
Yeah.
at this point. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I will binge the shit. I can watch an hour and a half, honestly, of just yearning, fucking, not fucking, but thinking about fucking and like vibes and feels. I could just sit and watch that. I don't want anything else.
If you've got good yearning,
Yeah.
that can carry it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say an hour and a half is probably going to be a beat too far for that. 25 minutes, you're probably gonna be able to like hit me over and over. There is, but I'm willing to try it. Take me on that journey. I would sit there and watch someone build a nest for probably a good 40 minutes every episode. I'd be like, what's the nest gonna be this time? Because the nest is very much a vibe. And so like when they're building the nest is really reflecting like kind of like their current state of vibiness. I could do it like Better Homes and Gardens. Just like, and it's like, like House
Better Homes and
Hunters.
Gardens just took me back. My mom got Better Homes and Gardens. Oh my God. I used to
Yeah, or
love
like
that.
HDTV. Like I would sit and be like, oh my God, that would be an amazing concept. Like, have you ever seen like when they used to do like really fun YouTube shows? Like there was like the Lizzie Bennett Diaries, which was like, kind of like a
Yes.
millennial Pride and Prejudice. If anyone ever wants
Yep.
to go back and just turn on YouTube and do yourself a favor and watch the Lizzie Bennett Diaries. They were
Yes. So
fun.
fun. So
But
fun.
like something like that where it would be like a fake reality TV show with like omegas making like nests for like their alphas. I would
Oh my
watch
God, that's
the
hilarious.
fucking shit out of it. If
That'd
they're
be
like,
incredible.
today I'm doing t-shirts and I'm feeling like I
Yeah.
might do some silk undies and maybe throw in this blanket from when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Great. Great. I'm in. And give me a BL, give me a tie BL where it's just that. And then it's like the omega, then like the alphas have to come in and like scent around and be like, am I into it or not? I'm just pissed
God.
that like, would you be an alpha or an omega? Because clearly betas suck. Like if you could pick,
I think I'd be an omega.
you'd want to make the cozy nest.
I don't want to be in charge. I love a cozy nest. I
You
relate
would,
to
and you'd
them.
have the snacks.
Yeah, that
You'd be
tracks.
"Give
That
me
absolutely
snacks. Give me
tracks.
snacks."
Huh?
You'd want snacks.
100%. I'd want my snacks. I'd want my nest. I'd be fine with that.
I don't feel like I know enough about omnivorous except for everything you've taught me tonight. I I I don't know. I think I might go alpha because I don't want to do all that work of making the nest.
I think you'd be a good alpha.
I want to just take what I want.
Yeah, I think you'd be a good alpha.
I feel like I have spent a majority of my life nesting. I want to just
You just want to go into that nest and fuck it up.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Like, I feel as if, man, I don't know. I'm really conflicted. I'm taking this very seriously. This is a serious thought exercise for me. Because I'm like, do I want to be in heat or do I want to be in rut? That's what it's all coming down to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're two different things. A switch. Maybe you're a beta. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, and I'm pissed.
Wait,
I don't want to
right?
be.
What if you're just undesignated yet? Like, you're just undesignated for now. You
'Cause I
haven't
think
presented, Leah, you haven't presented yet.
I haven't presented yet. I need
That's
to
You
the
need
term.
somebody. You
There
need.
you go,
You need to
Patreon vote.
either. Yeah, you need to imprint on somebody.
Yeah, the Patreon
to
needs
figure it
vote
out.
and let me know.
Oh my God, I love it.
Am I an alpha or am I omega? Do I want to make a little nest and get, railed, or am I the railer? Am I going to go in and just like ruin the house and like bite through walls? Which one am I? I don't know. Damn it. I felt like I should have known. I asked the question. Just don't make me be a beta, please.
Yeah. No, I think you haven't presented yet. I think you will soon. Let's just give it some time.
Yeah. You write me and let me know. Identify it for me, everyone. And on that note,
Yeah.
That's a great note to end on.
you know what? I have one last fun fact.
Okay.
Because I looked this up earlier in our conversation. So they also track burials at sea numbers.
I knew it was going to be about bear. I knew it. As soon as she's like, one more thing, I knew it was going to be about.
off here. This is
They
going
track it. So like, are you like on a registry? Like
They try yeah, because you have to like get you got to put your permit in to say you buried someone at sea or whatever, retroactively apparently. And so the last numbers listed on the EPA site are, this is the US government. We are not anything if we are not fairly inefficient. So the last numbers pulled are from 2020.
Oh my God.
And in 2020, there were 2,544 burials at sea in these United States of America. Does anyone want to guess which state had the most by a landslide number of 932?
Maine?
No. Buck-ass Florida leads the nation in burial at sea, coming in at a cool 932. Runner up, if somebody gets runner up, I don't know what I'll do. I'll make you a
Rhode
nest.
Island.
No, Rhode Island's on there, but they're very small. They are 12.
runner up for burial at sea.
Yes. It's not one of the big it's not one of the big states. It's not a little state, but it's not going to be California. It's not one
New
of the big ones.
Jersey.
No. Megan, one less guess and then we're
New Hampshire?
These are all East Coast fucking centric.
I know.
It's Oregon. Oregon comes in number 2nd, leading the nation at 833 burials at sea. I don't know why
So
I'm so surprised about
most
Florida.
of the burials at sea for that year were Oregon and Florida.
Most
Like opposite
were Oregon.
ends.
Yeah, California 162 for being 25% of the country. This is I think maybe it's because unless you're in somewhere like Monterey Bay or something, like you're really not, you probably have to go too far out to have it get deep enough to
Wow.
get that shit. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Hawaii 10. Alaska made me laugh because Alaska was one. And I'm like, that's because they are just dumping their shit. They're not putting a permit in. Alaska,
Yeah.
they're like, fuck you, federal government. If I want to throw a body in the sea, I'm throwing that body in the sea.
Yeah.
And then lastly is if you would like, the question is burning a boat or floating a funeral pyre permitted? No, because guess what? The environment. I bet I should lobby the Trump administration, be like, we don't care about the fucking greenhouse
Okay,
gases.
but now burial at sea, does it have to be, so burial at sea only sea, like only ocean? Or could we do like Michigan?
I do burial at sea.
Can you do like the
in
Gulf of
a
Mexico?
lake. That's the ocean.
Right, I'm asking, can you do like a big lake, like a Great Lake?
A Great Lake. Like I'm thinking Lake Superior, because Lake Superior is pretty deep, right?
I'm guessing.
It says you can do cremated remains, but it does not qualify to be a legal full body burial at sea. A true burial at sea is strictly a federal maritime and U.S. EPA practice reserved for ocean waters, requiring the body to be weighted and then again the 3 nautical miles offshore.
Okay.
You cannot go fork a body legally into Lake Superior. Maybe if you're Canadian, like maybe
who
Canada has
knows?
different law, you know?
Right. Who knows?
So if you're Canadian, you let us know. I'm not going to spend time researching those laws at the moment because I don't believe that's a deep dive that is for this podcast. But if you do know, let us know. And if you are a ocean bordering nation, let us know as well. I want to know what your country, can you go hork yourself in? And
Yeah.
next time we'll talk about something else. We could do like air birth or air death, whatever, air
God.
burials, sky burials. That's what
Launching
it is.
someone off.
My
No, just when you
God.
get put up into like, the platforms and the trees and the birds come.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Well,
Oh my
that is
God.
a lovely way to end.
Yeah.
We're going to end on nodding and burial at sea.
Love it.
So thank you all if you made it this far.
And let me
You
know.
never know
am
what
I
you're
an
going to get
alpha
from
or
us.
omega?
You never know what you're going to get.
Truly, like this is the
I
most
had nothing.
uncensored.
Yeah,
This is the most uncensored we've been in a long time.
I
And this
know.
is because I came with nothing intelligent. You just got raw dog. This is just what Stuart, like, this is just this is like the foam. If you scrape the top off, this is the foam there.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you all for sticking with it. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Annyeong.
Annyeong.
Kamsahamnida. Thank you for listening to Afternoona Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoona Delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!